And Tony's online. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning.
Hi, Tony.
Well, Hager, he's getting his equipment cranked up here. Sam just checked in with his phone. Are you on the way to Fredericksburg, Sam?
Hang on, I was on mute. No, I'm in office today in Orange. Could you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
I can hear you.
Cal.
I can hear you. Turn your TV on if you got one. Just to prove that you're not sitting on the beach down in Florida.
Morning, all.
Morning, Jamie.
Hey.
I just, for what it's worth, I contacted Donna Robinson a couple weeks ago and said I'd like to have a Rotary president to chamber president lunch on Rotary, and if she wanted to, I'd be happy for her to bring along someone with her. Right back to about 30 seconds that she'd love to do it and she'd like to bring Deanne. And I said, well, that's great. I'll bring someone, and you pick the time and the place. That was 2 weeks ago, and I haven't heard back from her. I'm trying to get this out before she gets on, and I'm going to have to explain to her after the meeting. I'm going to call her and say, you don't get credit for that lunch just by showing up for this meeting today, because we're still having. I told her I wasn't selling anything, I wasn't buying anything, just to talk about where the clubs have the groups have mutual interests and what we should be doing to work together to make.
Oh, Donna is just texting me to say they're ready, but she doesn't have any login. Okay, let me just get to her.
Well, the IT guru is on now, so he should be able to fix it up for her.
We are on the website. Okay, well, I'll have to call her.
Tony, how things in Gordonsville?
That Champion Ice House is only a couple of weeks away from opening up. So everything's going fine.
You're going to have your section of town in a couple of weeks then, aren't you?
Yep.
All the revelers and.
Well, the hours are going to be Monday through Thursday, 11 to 8. And then on the weekends, 11 to 10. So it's not going to be too bad. And they're not going to allow amplified music, electronically amplified music, just acoustic.
Good. I'd say that's in keeping with the traditions in Gordonsville.
How close to that do you live?
3 houses down. I was joking with the one of the partners, Craig from Barbecue Exchange. He said he'd put in a zip line to my house.
Right. That's one carries a tray full of beer. You don't care about people, just they bring the refreshments back and forth.
Absolutely.
What's going to be their specialty? Do you know?
Well, it's Craig Hartman from the Barbecue Exchange is doing the food. So their specialty is going to be fried chicken.
Good.
And then they're going to have fried fish, so you do fish and chips and sandwiches, but no chicken wings, because chicken wings and beer tend to be a sports pub, and he doesn't want that. And then the beer is going to be brought in from Champion, the other partners, Champion Ice House, Champion Brewing out of Charlottesville.
Hey, there's Deanne.
Deanne's coming in now.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they'll have one specialty beer that's brewed there, and then the others will be brought in by Champion.
We have one presenter is trying to get in.
Yeah. Where's the camera? Camera. Where's the camera? There they are. Start video.
There they are.
Hey.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't have it downloaded on my computer. Good morning.
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 Hi, Ray.
Hi, Donna.
There's
Good
Cecil.
morning, Cecil.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
How's everyone?
Doing well.
Good.
You didn't have to go to Richmond today.
No, but at 9, they do not disappoint. I have a Zoom. Excuse me.
Hey, Cal, are you going to want to do any business before we introduce Don?
Excuse me.
What you have on mind?
I'm
I'm open.
wondering about, we can have Donna and Deanne start, especially since Cecil needs to be gone.
That's a good idea. Are you the host today, Ellen?
I certainly can be.
Well, how about you starting us with the four-way test and the Pledge of Allegiance then?
Okay, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance first. I pledge
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty.
with liberty and justice for all.
And the rotary four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it be goodwill and
Beneficial to all concerned.
will it be beneficial to all concerned?
All right. Well, good morning.
Notice I did that without
You
notes.
did very well.
Good job. Good job.
Okay, I'm going to be host, and I am going to be a very happy host to interview Waugh Robinson, our own very own Orange Rotarian and real estate magnate, and the mother of the children's toy box. And I'm sure I'm missing about 20 other things you're doing, Donna. And you had so much time, you took on president of the Orange County Chamber of Commerce. So, woohoo, you're nuts.
And she's also
I think my initials say it all. DEWR, doer. I'm a doer. Yes. But
Yeah,
I'm joined today with Deanne Marshall, who is our director of the Chamber of Commerce right now, and she has helped us navigate some really troubled waters that we've had over the past 18 months, not just with COVID, but some of the issues we had in the chamber internally. And we are moving forward, and we are coming out guns a-blazing with all kinds of stuff going on, getting ready for the Montpelier Wine Festival. May
Orange Uncorked,
Orange Uncorked, sorry.
formerly the Montpelier Wine Festival.
Old habits die hard. But that's May 1st and 2nd. And we would love for any of the Rotarians to volunteer. You know, you all are members of the chamber as well, but you don't have to be on the board to help volunteer. And you could wear your Rotary shirts and all kinds of good stuff. We're not in a position this year for like any kind of paid volunteers, but we would love some help. And now I'm going to turn it over to Deanne. She can give you a little update as to what we've gone through, where we're going, and some really exciting things that are going on with the chamber.
Hi, thank you for having us talk the Chamber of Commerce. I was a past member of the Rotary, and you guys do great work, and thank you for all your volunteer work that you guys do. Chamber, we are opening up for business. We're doing ribbon cuttings quite often. We did 2 last week with minority businesses, which is really exciting for me. And we just want to support our business community so we can all move forward after this post-COVID period to make sure that we have in place what our businesses need with legislation. And in saying that, we are going to be a co-host on August 4th for the Virginia Blueprint 2030. And what that does, it puts a roadmap out for the Virginia Chamber of Commerce, what legislation we want to move forward to support business, and which is very important. There's a lot of things on the table right now, and with the new governor coming in November, we want to make sure that we have everything in place to move forward for a very positive, pro-business friendly Virginia. And saying that, we are in full planning mode for the wine festival, which is May 1st and 2nd. It's across the road from the market at Gremlin, in one of the most beautiful places in Orange County, I believe. It's got a panoramic view of the Blue Ridge Mountains. We have 15 wineries and 15 wineries and cideries, and we have about 35 vendors. We have great music. We have the first annual mustache and beard contest, which proceeds from that will be going to the Boys and Girls Club of Orange, which is another great nonprofit in Orange County. And the May 20th, we have our Business and Appreciation Picnic, and that would be at Honolulu Vineyard, 5:30 to 7:30, and that's anybody who's in business, does business with Orange, everybody's invited.
Orange,
And
Gordonsville, not just,
it's the towns, it's the town of Gordonsville, the town of Orange, the county of Orange, and the Chamber of Commerce. So that is a great networking event to be at. Does anybody have any questions?
I'd love to know how we, we did take advantage of some of the stimulus.
Oh, yes.
Because we struggled.
Not doing the events, that's a major part of our budget, and not being able to do that, we were struggling. So we received 2 loans from the PPP, and were they both PPP? I think they were both PPP, which has really stabilized the chamber with that there was a great fear that we were not going to be able to go on, just like a lot of other nonprofits. But I'm seeing a bright future ahead with, and I'm looking forward to working with whoever I can to build a stronger community. I have a heart for the community, and I love working with the schools. I love working with the nonprofits, and just seeing people in the community thrive and survive and enjoy Orange County. There's so much positive here. There's so many awesome things. Montpelier, all the wineries and cideries, and the new breweries. There's good things happening here.
Mm-hmm. What kind of business loss was experienced last year in terms of some of your members who might have not survived COVID?
We did have some that closed up permanently, and then we've also tried to work with some of the others that have expressed, can we make a payment plan for dues and things like that, and we have that in place. And then not scholarship, but like grant.
It's like a grant, yeah.
That we have, because we don't, we're all together. We're all pro business, and so we realized that we needed to help each other and not just worry about like if their dues got paid. But we did have some. I mean, obviously the restaurant industry got hit really hard. Hospitality in general. I mean, we lost Roadside Chive. We lost them as a caterer, and so there was the fractions of other companies that were on the fringe that you didn't really think about. I mean, like even like rentals, tent rentals and things like that. I mean, they picked up some when they realized that they could have tents outside of their establishments to have outdoor dining. But there for the first 3 months, it was touch and go. And our events are such a large portion of our budget that when we couldn't have them, we didn't have the wine festival last year or the street festival.
Yeah, those are 2 huge events that carry us through.
Yeah. So thankful, we were very thankful that we got the PPP money. Sam, is Sam on today?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Yeah. Sam is also on the board of the chamber. He's our treasurer and has been for several years, but he was very instrumental in helping us get those loans to bridge our gap, our financial gap.
Donna, just a shout out to the county and the town, because the money we got last year was through the CARES program, which actually was filtered through the town and the county. So they gave us that money.
Correct.
And then the money this year was the PPP loan, because it was.
Okay. That's what I was questioning.
Yeah. As a nonprofit, this year was the first year they did allow nonprofits.
Right. Because we were 501c6.
Right.
Yeah. But Sam was very instrumental in helping us apply for all of that stuff. So.
So the wine festival you talked
Any
about.
other questions?
I'm sorry. Something more to say about the loans. Go ahead. I was going to change the subject.
No. You're fine, Jamie. Go ahead.
The wine festival you discussed across from Grelin, that's new for this year. Can you go in a little more detail about that?
It's not new for this year. This is the third.
Would have been the third.
this would have been the third. So we did it in 2019. It was canceled in 2020. And so discuss more about that.
Yeah, I guess
well,
I
you
thought.
know, I did send you an email to be a vendor. I tried to get you. I'm sorry.
I thought, okay, so this was the wine festivals that was at Montpelier?
That's correct. We had to move the venue, and with that, we did a name change. So if we have to move again, we can keep our name and brand our name.
Okay.
So you know, we were at Montpelier for 27 years. So that's quite, no, was it 27 years?
Yeah.
I think around 27 years. So that's good for us as a chamber, just to kind of have our own name for our festival, because we would like to take that forward and keep on going with that festival. So if it does happen to change a venue again, we can still keep that name and not have to rebrand, which is a huge deal.
Yeah.
So
I misunderstood. Thanks.
So I have another question, if I can be so bold. With the restaurant week that you had, I know so much of what the chamber is focused on is driving business to your members as well. So how did that work? And in addition to that, what other sorts of activities do you have planned to promote your members' businesses?
the restaurant week was a great success. The news, Channel 19, Charlottesville picked up on it. It was on the news, and all the restaurants I had spoke to said that they had a boom. I think that everybody was so excited that we were actually doing something like that, and it wasn't only including members. I felt real strongly that we have to open it up to everybody. And I still feel strongly about that. So we're going to have another one in August. We're going to have 2 a year, and those are the slowest times for the restaurant industry.
Next year will be January.
Next year, I think it will be the end of January. We're trying to scoot around the COVID restrictions this year.
Right.
So the next one will be the last week of August. So, and I'm including like 2 weekends. So you have like, it starts on a Friday and it will end on the next Sunday. So that way people have an opportunity to, you know, if you can't do it one weekend, you can do it another weekend. And it gives the restaurants a chance to kind of show what they can do. And even if it's not a 5 or 4 star, I would go to places and say, look, just do something special. I mean, just anything, anything that we can advertise, and just brings people to your door. I mean, it would.
They all said they had an uptick in business, even if they didn't participate if the people didn't buy like the restaurant week special, it brought them into their establishment. So we consider that mission accomplished, and that was a win-win countywide. Deanne was very strong about that. It didn't just need to be chamber members; it needed to be, we're helping the whole industry, because that's still our county, it's still our tax base.
It's still Orange County. When you help anybody in Orange County, you're helping the whole picture. So I'm excited. As soon as May is done, I'm going to start marketing that August.
And
restaurant week and have a nice, strong, presence with that.
And just so you all know, mark your calendars, because we have the wine festival coming up, and then we have the business and industry picnic at Honolulu, and that's May the 20th. And then we have the restaurant week coming up the end of August. Then we have the street festival, which is actually going to be on 9/11 this year.
We need to talk about that. Yes.
And because of that, we are doing it as a tribute
to our first
responders. And so we're working with the fire department, with the flags and everything. So just to work with that day to make it respectful.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a tribute to each different, like the police, the fire department, the emergency volunteer, and we're going to put out a board. We're going to reach out to the community to send in letters of what's happened, positive things that's happened from your experience with these different, and we're going to put up a post board of the thank yous and all the, we're just really going to highlight the work that they do, that they are on the front lines, and we need to hold them up. If there's one bad apple that bad with everything else, but we really need to stand behind our community and our service with the fire department, the police department. They struggle. They're struggling very hard right now.
Yeah.
So
a lot of negative press.
Just a lot of negative press, but we can turn that around. And that's my goal with this 9/11. I want to turn that around and highlight the people that have chosen to put their life on the line for us, to support us.
And then after that, we have our new member reception. And we also have our annual banquet, our annual chamber banquet. And that is November.
I don't have it in front of me. It's November 9th. It's on a Tuesday this year because it run the same week as
Veterans Day.
So
we polled our members and stuff, and they were like, we didn't want to do a conflict with that holiday. Veterans Day is actually that Thursday, which we typically would have had it on Thursday. And this way it doesn't, if people wanted to go out of town or, it's a federal holiday. So a lot of our people they'd feel obligated to come. So we moved it.
Yeah.
Ellen, other questions?
I'm sure I can think of more. Anybody else?
Also in October, we'll have a legislative.
Yeah, so this is an election year, so we're going to be having some candidate forums.
Oh, you are?
So, yeah, so we have couple of districts that are running, but I want to reach out to other counties to kind of pull together so we can get some of like the lieutenant governors, the attorney generals. There's a lot of people that are going to be. There's a lot of offices up for election this year. So,
and the chamber has historically done that. It's just we've had, COVID, so nothing. We couldn't have anything. But no, historically, the chamber has held the legislative forums for years.
Well, if I can encourage you to consider doing it as a virtual, then you probably you'll probably find you can actually attract more candidates and more participation, because certainly I've been seeing that on a lot of other different venues, that it's much easier for candidates to schedule it in. And, Orange County doesn't often draw a lot of candidates because I guess there aren't a ton of votes here. But I think that would be great if you could do candidates forums. So it'd be wonderful.
I'm curious, do you guys track how many vineyards or brew pubs are in the county? Because it seems like there's new ones popping up every week.
We do track that. I mean, we know that some of the brew houses that are coming, and obviously we're track them to join the chamber and be a part of our group. The vineyards, I mean, we have access to all of that as well. The small vineyards usually don't participate in the wine festival because they don't have enough supply.
They don't have the volume.
They don't have the volume. So yes, we want them on the chamber, but they usually can't do a wine festival, like even like Connolly.
I was talking to him about a month ago, and they're just nervous. I mean, they can't come and sell cases and sell everything they have and have nothing else to sell.
Yeah.
So they have to be very careful unless they can really get some volume.
Yeah, Chateau Maryland's the same way, and we do have more vineyards in Orange, Jamie, but there's a lot of them are smaller. So.
Right.
But they still need support.
Seems like they're one of the bigger.
So I guess we could go back to the COVID protocol for May 1st and 2nd, because we're all just starting to, feels like we're coming out of our chrysalis or whatever. I bet most of the people on this call have been vaccinated, but I'm curious, how will you operate the event on May 1st and 2nd?
It's open air, around 3 acres. There's a lot of space, and the fact that we are not indoors is a huge sell factor. So we are going to have social distancing signs everywhere, and encourage that, of course.
Hand sanitation.
Hand sanitation on all the wine, the tables where people are going up to. And we've also purchased 4-ounce souffle cups for tastings. So each taste is you're not reusing anything. I think that's going to stop a lot of the concern. And
Yeah.
it just adds a lot of trash. But so we have American Legion is doing our trash for that weekend. So it's a great way for them to, come in, and it really helps us a lot.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us? I'm sorry, go ahead.
But we have there's so much space that people can really, they can stay within their unit of people and feel comfortable. And so I think it's going to be a wonderful, if Mother Nature agrees with
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah.
Usually there's going to wash out at least one day. So we're just praying that, we have 2 beautiful days, because that would be wonderful for us.
What sort of volunteer help do you need from folks?
Probably the front gate, which is the earlier shift. And if you work a shift, you get the rest of the day to play. So
Incentive.
Yeah, that's incentive, because, maybe a 3-4 hour shift, and then you can spend the rest of the day just, enjoying the festival. So at the front gate, which would be like checking in, IDs, wristbands, which I think what we're going to do is we're not going to actually be touching everybody. We're going to hand one over, and they could do it themselves in front of us. So we see that's going on the person that we saw the ID. So we just need more eyes, I think, because
it's going to take a little bit longer.
It might take a little bit longer process, but we're doing a new system where we didn't have a ticket system. So we did everything online. So it's a QR code. So we're going to have several tablets that are set just to take a picture of that QR code, and it should be easy. So
and less contact.
Yeah.
A lot less contact. Yeah, because you're not actually handing anything, right? You're just like, okay, that's right.
Yeah. Well, Cal, with your permission, if we could, if Deanne and Donna want to just put together a volunteer call out that we could share with members, you could just send it to us and we can just get it out to all the members if you want to do that.
Absolutely.
And be specific about what kind of responsibilities and the times.
Thank you.
And who they contact. And so if it's sort of turnkey, we can get it out and to the people who aren't on this call as well.
Thank you.
Was that okay to say, Cal?
Is he on mute?
Cal, you're muted.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you for helping me on that. Just before the meeting started officially, many of us were chatting. I had reached out to Donna and then indirectly to Deanne, inviting them to a president-to-president lunch. And I just wanted Donna that this isn't taking the place of that.
Okay.
Still on the book, and it's on Rotary this time. And really, so I tried to explain to her, just really reaching out and finding ways that 2 groups can work together better. And this is a good example, Ellen, what you're suggesting there is just that there are so many things that we're trying to do that don't compete and yet it sometimes dovetail right in with the things you're doing. So the closer we get to work,
the chamber meetings that were.
So that is the Business First Coffee?
Yes, that's what I meant. And those are going on now.
We have started doing those. Yes, ma'am. We are sending those invites out as well. So look for those. And please come.
And Cal, Cal's been, oh, sorry.
Well, just on the coffees, I was going to say, very successful. Last week it had to be at least 30 people, maybe 40.
Which one was that?
The one at Lakeside Title at Locust Grove.
That wasn't a morning coffee though, was it? Wasn't that one of those?
No, it was a morning coffee.
Was it really?
Yeah. I didn't see you there.
No, I wasn't there. I've tried, you know, I've tried to be as many of those as I can. I think it's just a great opportunity, reminding all the Rotarians that by virtue of the fact that the club is a member, we are sort of de facto members as well. And I just put my Rotary badge on and sneak in. So, but it's been beneficial, and many of the chamber folks and I have gotten to know each other better. So I do it for my personal interest in just meeting more people in the community, since I'm so new to the community. But I'm going to encourage more members to attend these things. At one time, you had your meeting a year or so ago up at the Boys and Girls Club, and I think there were 6 Rotarians for that morning. So we can muster when we need to.
And it's a great networking opportunity as well as just meeting people, Cal. But we do try to rotate them around, so they're the eastern end of the county, western end of the county, or central, so more convenient.
So our next business coffee is in Gordonsville, and so we are also trying to connect with Gordonsville. But I will get that date. You'll have an invite to that. I believe it's in May, the second Tuesday in May, but it's not right in front of me. But we'll send an invite out to everybody, so just keep your eyes out for that.
Well, since you mentioned Gordonsville, we can introduce you one of our newest members, Tony Samra, who I'm not sure where he is on your corner, but the house that you live in was the original governor's house. Is that correct? Or mayor's house? The mayor's house, right? So he's right on Main Street.
Oh, really?
And his wife is Liz Samra, who you may know from the council, from the town council.
Oh, yes.
So they are the power couple of Gordonsville. So hopefully and they're right next door to the new brewery.
Yes.
So you can drink at the brewery and then, stumble over to their doorstep and
Gordonsville's going to be hopping. Yeah, Gordonsville's going to have a lot going on.
Especially with the VFW being changed.
Oh, that's going to be another brewery, right? Craft brewery.
With outside facilities.
With outside facilities where they're going to have like berries and family oriented, so you can go picking. Yep. And it's going to be a good, I just heard some different ideas about what they're going to do, but it's going to open it up to a family involvement.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
The good thing with Tony, where he lives, there is no law against walking under the influence. Unless you walk out in the street.
Stay on the sidewalk.
Hey, I have a question. Deanne or Donna?
Yes.
If you want to talk a little bit about the scholarship program that we do, because Rotary is that's one of their main projects is scholarship.
Yes.
So the Chamber of Commerce gives a $500 scholarship every year to a student who's going to Germanna, and one of our business owners on the East End came up to me and wanted to give $2,000 more a year. So we're going to be able to offer more money to our students. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm also on the Orange County Education Foundation, and I have been since 2017. So I have a very strong
passion
for scholarships and giving our students the opportunity to further their education or their trade. Not only at college, but it also, Germanna is offering some awesome trade opportunities with welding, paving. There's just a lot going on. Nursing, dental. I think they're building a new facility down at their Locust Grove campus. So they're coming very viable for our students to go into a trade and then come out with a certificate and get paid just as much as your 4-year.
And one of our current board members is Amy Hennessy, and she is Hennessy, and she is one of the directors at Germanna Community College. So, we have our pulse on that as well with the chamber, and obviously we work well with Dr. Sneed and all of the other schools around here. But
we're trying to connect with larger businesses in Orange to see what their needs are and try to streamline, starting in middle school, high school, streamline some of these needs into our student, or letting our students know that this is available and seeing if there's any interest, and then tapping into that student and moving forward with that particular student. So And Dr. Sneed is doing an awesome job doing that. Thank you, Dr. Sneed. And thank you, Doc. Is it 9 o'clock?
Nope, he's
No,
right
I'm
there.
here. Thank
There he
you. To get back to all of your points, and it does do us good to meet in different contexts and different settings to understand how the pieces connect and fit together. And as a superintendent of the school system, it really is, it does feel good to feel that support, and we're able to leverage all of the resources around the county to support our students. And so we're growing and moving as quickly as possible, and it's because of the support of everyone out there. So thank all of you as well.
And if you aren't, Donna and Deanne, if you're not already interacting at all with Bill Hager, who's also on this call, and I'm sure you're familiar with his very robust foundation raising money for career and technical education. We're thrilled to have him as a Rotarian now as well. And we actually have a scholarship committee that he's actively participating on, along with Tony Samra and Cal.
So he has done a marvelous job for our schools. Just kudos to him, and he has such a passion as well. And with everything he does, that's what he's doing. He's trying to align and network people together to support our youth, and he's got an ability to do that, and that's amazing.
Well, Deanne, we hope you'll consider coming back to Rotary.
My plate is full right now, but
hey, Donna doesn't use that excuse.
We had that conversation before we started this meeting. How did you do it?
Yeah, but Donna didn't make a lot of the meetings this past year either.
Yeah, but your heart was with us.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. No, it's that I'm very thankful to live in the community that we have. I'm born and raised in Orange, but I love that our community supports each other so well. So whether it's Toy Box or Chamber or our school systems, or I think we have a town council. I had a meeting last night. We have a really unique county, I think, that we live in.
Yeah, yeah.
I like to ditto what Donna just said. Being a relative newcomer to the community, only almost now 3.5 years, moving down from Frederick, Maryland, which is truly a very nice place to live in a nice, modern, growing community. We're so fortunate to be down here, and we thank our stars every day. All you have to do is turn the television on and find out how nice how lucky we are to be here. I mean, it just defies my brain capacity to understand what people are going through today in the rest of the world and what's driving so much of this craziness. But when I look around at, I realize that in my mind, Orange, the town of Orange and Orange County aren't broken, but there's still a lot of things that need to be done to improve it. And I think most people that I've talked to tend to think along those lines as well, that we're not falling apart at the seams like some other parts of our country are, but still there's an awful lot we can do and should be doing. And scholarships, of course, are one of those. Every year Cecil turns out a couple hundred kids onto the community looking for work, and we need to support that. And I know that the Rotary Club is, we're just about ready to unleash the mighty strength of the Rotary Club, and maybe a $5,000 scholarship program annually. And then when we sat down in our first meeting with Bill Hager and the folks at the Board of Education, realized that Bill's group had raised something approaching $70,000, and the Board of Education gets in something approaching a couple $100,000 to $250,000 in scholarships. I'm thinking, we're not so robust after all. But having thought that, and then listening to people like Renee Honecker and others at the board, she says, "Oh no! All this money is important. I mean, that you have a few hundred, like your $500 scholarship. there's somebody that's going to need that scholarship this year to go to Germana to do something. It may seem like a little itty bitty step, but this is how it starts. And I'm sure the professional educators in the group will say that, it's nice to hear of a full ride $50,000 a year scholarship to some major university, but that doesn't reflect most of the kids that go to college. They don't rely on that kind of stuff. And so our 5,000 isn't, while it doesn't seem to be significant in the big picture, it's not insignificant any more than your $500. And
well, can I just say that if we're helping one person,
yes,
it's worth it. It's worth it, even if it's $50, $500, $1,000. That little bit of money can do wonders for that one person, and in turn, that one person is paid forward. So the impact is just remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
I echo that. It reminds me of the starfish story. You can't pick up all the starfish on the beach and save them all, but the one that you pick up and throw back in the ocean, it means the world to that one starfish to survive. So that's kind of the way I look at it. Like, we don't look at the whole elephant. We just bite it off one at a time. So everything means so much to the student who receives that attention and that financial support. So I agree.
Mm-hmm.
well, that's good. Any more information for the good of the cause today? We can close early if everybody's finished.
Thank you for having us.
So I'm looking forward to our lunch, Cal.
Yep.
So we need to put that on the calendar.
Yes.
Well, on that lunch, you guys get to pick the time and the place, and I'll bring my bodyguard, Donna's bringing hers, and we'll have a good chat. But I think these are just baby steps into a real strong community relationship among the county and town government and the NGOs. That people that are like us that are trying to do some good and oftentimes just need direction, just to put us in the right direction. So where we should focus what money we have. And so I'd like to thank everybody for being here today.
If I can just let people know that we have the next program we have will be Sherry Landry from Culpeper Wellness Foundation. And that is they have taken over the Piedmont Regional Dental Clinic. It's now coming under the Culpeper Wellness Foundation. And that's where the project that we do with Donna, with the dental kits, that is all wrapped up in this relationship with the Piedmont Regional Dental Clinic. So I hope everybody will be able to make that meeting and meet Sherry Landry.
Thank you, Alan.
I guess everybody by now knows that our new program chairman is Ellen Wessel. She has really gotten off to a wonderful start. We have programs now booked up all the way through the summer and into the fall, and they're good programs. And she's been right on top of it. So I can't tell you, Ellen, how much I appreciate your enthusiasm for this. And the quality of the programs is going to grow. We are investigating the possibility of having hybrid meetings. We've been offered a facility at the airport that the chamber folks are used to, with a big screen TV, and we're getting some requests from members to have live meetings, and realizing that they're not for everybody yet. We know that we can put together a pretty substantial hybrid program with a large screen TV. It's not like me sitting in my office looking at a computer screen. So it's in the works. I'm not sure how that'll develop. Much of it's going to be driven by the COVID program, but it's in the works. It may or may not happen, but we'll keep you abreast of it. And we also have booked the Veterans Park Pavilion for our June 29th, 5th Tuesday meeting. This will be the last official gathering for this Rotary year. And this is the time when we normally transfer the gavels and make introductions to new members and announce who the person of the year is, these kind of things. So you'll be hearing more of this from us as time goes on, and just your Rotary Club in action. Thanks so much, ladies. Thanks for your interesting program, and we're looking forward to more of these. And maybe we can participate sometime in your events to be more helpful to you. So, and to my fellow members, thanks so much for your time this morning, David. It's a real treat to see you back. Wave your hand. Let everybody know you're doing well. David, raise your hand. That's
Yay, it works.
a couple of weeks ago, he wasn't allowed to raise his hand because it would have torn all the stitches out of the front of his chest. So he's looking good here.
Both of them.
Thank you. At the same time, that's good. Barry is attending from Maine, so there's a benefit of a virtual meeting, and everybody else that's not a local. There's a lot of iPhones sitting here on the screen, and I have no idea who you are, but thanks for being with us, Crystal. I know you're here. She's probably got a conference call going on the other phone in her office, but Crystal,
good morning. Good morning. Good to be here. Hope everyone's doing well.
Doing well. And Sam, thanks for participating, and we'll talk to you soon. And with that, I'm going to say good morning. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Cal.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Good to see everybody.